This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Reports. I'm Amy Goodman. As immigrant communities brace for ongoing raids this week, sanctuary cities are also under attack. On Friday, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the Trump administration's push to withhold federal funding for local policing in sanctuary cities that refuse to comply with certain immigration policies, like giving agents access to jail records of immigrants in custody. We're going now to Mancos, Colorado, where we're joined by a woman who's been in sanctuary in the United Methodist Church since 2017. Rosa Sabido is one of dozens of undocumented immigrants living in churches across the country to avoid deportation. She says she first came to the United States on a visitor visa more than 30 years ago, in 1987, to see her mother and stepfather, who are both naturalized citizens. She says she traveled back and forth between Colorado and Mexico for a decade until she was questioned by immigration officials about her visa and told her to leave the United States. Instead, she stayed and continued going to regular check-ins, requesting multiple stays of deportation, and was granted them until May of 2017, when she was told her latest request had been denied. That's when she entered sanctuary. For more on how she's been impacted by the latest crackdown on immigrants, including the threats of nationwide raids, Rosa Sabido joins us now via Democracy Now! Video stream, because she can't go to a studio. She's in sanctuary in a church in Mancos in southwest Colorado, in the Four Corners. Rosa, welcome to Democracy Now! Can you talk about why you're in the church right now, and though you're inside, what you feel as you hear about these threats of ICE agents moving in to take undocumented immigrants away and deport them?
Good morning, Amy. Thank you. Even us who live in sanctuary, we're not away from the danger of maybe being detained or maybe ICE breaking their moral agreement that they have with the sacred places or sensitive places like the churches. So yes, we are in fear. We are and on guard, like we are on constant panic and we don't know what is going to happen. We don't know what is going to happen in our communities. We don't know what is going to happen with us, and we just remain with our uncertainty, and we know we are protected by the communities and the churches, but we never know what is going to happen.
Were you afraid this weekend? What stops ICE from entering the churches? I mean, you have Jeanette Vizguera, who has taken refuge once again in the Unitarian Church in Denver. You have women throughout Colorado in churches. Were you afraid, Rosa, this weekend?
Yes, we are afraid every day, not only this weekend. I mean, that raised our fear because, we are people with high profiles, because we are going public and we are resisting the system. And we are, even though we are in peaceful resistance, we still are, we are seen as fugitives, at the eyes of ICE and the government. So yes, we are always in constant fear. Every time we hear someone knocking at the door, it's just to get into a moment of panic, because we don't know who may that be, and if we don't know who's entering into the church, we don't know who that person might be. So yes, we are, and then we are even more now, because nothing is secure anymore.
While you were in sanctuary, your beloved mother, Blanca, died of cancer. Our condolences on your loss. Can you talk about what that meant for you? being separated from her?
Well, she was my first priority to remain in the country because of her poor health conditions. Therefore, for me being in sanctuary, I was not able to be with her, take care of her, go with her to the doctor's appointment, be her interpreter as I always did, filling out paperwork, taking care of her, the basics. So on a trip she did to Mexico, she decided to get treatment there, and because I was not able to be with her. And unfortunately, she passed away on July 23rd of last year. And for me, I'm paying like a very hard price for the sacrifice and this fight that I'm this battle that I'm fighting in sanctuary. She was like my motivation. She was the reason why I wanted to remain, or one of the reasons, but the biggest reason. And now I wasn't able to be with her. I wasn't able to say goodbye. I haven't been able to even mourn her death, and it's just like so.
Rosa, why did you decide to enter the church in 2017? I mean, you lived in this country for more than 3 decades. You were doing regular check-ins. The last one under President Trump was denied. Is that right? Why did you choose this mode of resistance?
Well, there was no other choice. I mean, it was just turn myself to ICE and then just be at their mercy and maybe just be deported in a couple of days, and or this option to be in sanctuary. And it was not, I never knew how long I was going to be in sanctuary. And I think the strongest reason is, as you mentioned, I have lived here 32 years now, 32 years of my life. That's over half of my life. And I've been a good citizen. I have been contribute to the community. I've been working. I have never taken advantage of anything from the government. I don't have any criminal records. I've been trying to become a permanent resident all those years. And so I think those are enough reasons to remain and resist and keep fighting until the end.
Well, Rosa Sabido, I want to thank you so much for being with us. Rosa is undocumented from Mexico. She has lived in this country for more than 30 years, regularly going to her check-ins. She took sanctuary at the Fellowship Hall at the United Methodist Church of Mancos, Colorado. And special thanks to Laurel Smith, who took the photos and video that we've been showing for our TV audience around the world of Rosa in sanctuary. And also a special thanks to my niece, Ariel Goodman, who presented Sanctuary Stories, which is a collaboration with Rosa Sabido and other women who have taken sanctuary, a multimedia storytelling collaboration with the women on the front lines of Colorado's struggle for immigrant rights. This is Democracy Now! When we come back, the climate catastrophe in Asia, Nepal, India, and on the shores of Louisiana. Stay with us.